Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well on this stupendous Saturday. You're looking absolutely amazing, by the way. You must be having a good weekend. I have been lifting stuff today and I've hurt my finger. Yes, I know. It's just a finger. Get on with it. Some of you will have seen the community feed as this channel is going to diversify, and I hear that will split the room now, because it'll be, we've heard that before, which you have heard it before. And I always said I would talk about the Idaho 4 if there was something to talk about, if something new come out, or if something was raised, and that will still be the case. If people want to hear about it, then I will still talk about it, but I think it's important not to keep going over the same stuff over and over again, because I do feel that we've pretty much covered just about everything. But there was one more thing that I just wanted to touch on, and it was with regards to, like, a lot of people say that I kind of sit on the fence with things. I don't really jump into anything. I don't really commit, and that makes me a little bit... How would I say it? Some people think that I do have a direction, but I choose not to say which direction I go, just to play it safe, and keep everyone happy. It ain't about that at all. But there are some things that I do feel about the Idaho 4 case with respect of how the crime actually happened itself. And some of these things feed into my theory regarding Brian Kohberger. But like I say, we will be diversifying. We'll be touching on other stuff, 100%. Like I say, we'll be doing lives daily, and then daily lives will be Monday through Thursday. And the live video will be at the same time as what the normal first video goes up. Okay, and then there'll be 2 more later. But also, I will be over on a Convicts Thoughts with A.R. Hayes, 10 p.m. UK time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern time, and I believe, I'm not going to even guess any further, 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UK, and I will be on a Convicts Thoughts with A.R. Hayes on Monday. So put date in your diary. But this is my thoughts on the Idaho 4, the crime itself. And this, I feel, is a very important situation to try and get your head round. And that is that I believe there's only 2 scenarios when it comes to the crime, the actual action that led us to where we are now. And that is that there was either multiple targets in that house, and multiple and specific. And the reason I say multiple and specific will run into the second point that I'm going to make in a second. But the reason I feel that it was multiple and specific is because the person enters the house and they walk past multiple doors in order to get to victim number 1 and technically number 2. Now, whether there was more than one target in that house, but one of those targets just happened to be in a situation where there was somebody who hadn't been accounted for there, and what I mean is Maddie had been a target, and sadly that was kept. Kaylee just happened to be there. It could have been the other way round, and it was that it happened on this specific night because one of the targets upstairs was in fact Kaylee, not Maddie. And it was in fact Kaylee, and that would have pushed to it having to be on this specific night, because we know that Kaylee was visiting. But this is the important bit to understand. Now, the reason, again, why I say multiple, because that person then chooses to come back and goes past other doors again, and then goes to Xana and Ethan's bedroom. Goes to the bedroom shared by Xana and Ethan, where Xana lives. Ethan is staying over. And the rest is history. We then have 2 more victims. And then chooses to leave the property without attacking anyone else, when that person must potentially know, if Dylan Mortenson's version of events is accurate, that she is shouted, then again, he knows that someone else is there. Now, could there have been some confusion? Did he go hunting for the person who had shouted? I don't know. We'll never know that. It might come out in court. But the point being, this person has entered this property, gone to a specific room, come out of said specific room and gone to another specific room while leaving doors. And we have touched on this before, but multiple people have reached out to me. Because I turned around, I'd made a statement like, I can't turn around and say that Brian Kohberger is 100% innocent of this crime. I simply cannot do that. I can't turn around and say he is 100% guilty. I feel that would be equally as stupid, but it would be stupid to say he had nothing to do with this. I feel that there is so little known that it means that there is a lot that could be known later. And in order for us to believe that Brian Kohberger was innocent, it would almost be that we'd have to consider that trial by ambush, for instance, doesn't exist. And we know trial by ambush does exist. And that could easily be the play of the prosecution here. But who knows? Now, the alternative is this, and this is where this could prove that there was a lie being told in this house. And this is where some of the story then starts to fall apart. And that is that this person enters the house and there's not multiple targets. They just enter the house for one specific target. I still do feel that this was indeed a target attack, because I feel that if it was not targeted, then there would have been potentially more victims or different victims. The fact that this person enters this house and goes on the route that they took and then goes to, without going like a broken record, again, that's why I feel that there was multiple targets. But if this person enters this house and then goes after the target and eliminates that target, then it would say that something happened that then changed the direction of what this crime went in. Now, the only thing that could have done that is one of two things, and that is either that Dylan Mortensen caused that catalyst to a cascade of another tragedy, because the person who did the crime then goes hunting after the person who made the noise, or the perpetrator comes down and one of either Xana or Ethan are not in the bedroom. They are out of the room. And they are then caught by the perpetrator coming down the stairs and in that sort of communal area. And that is potentially why I'm here to help, potentially. Again, I'm not saying that is what happened, but it kind of half makes sense. And then we have something that happens out in the hallway. The question is then, however, is how does that altercation happen? It does... Bethany Funk, for instance, Dylan Mortensen, all of a sudden then shut off. She hears the noise upstairs. She hears this statement being made that I feel would then technically be outside her room, and then an altercation between Xana, Ethan, and the perpetrator. And we've heard that was one hell of a fight. That's what we've heard. So that would lead me to believe, and again, I'm not saying this is accurate, but it certainly leads me to believe that more would have been heard. 100% more would have been heard. So is Dylan Mortensen, for instance, is she a protective witness? And did she, in fact, see and hear and know much more than what the public have been led to believe? That, to me, at this stage, makes quite a lot of sense. Now, the only thing that throws a spanner in the works there is that Fry had turned around, Chief James Fry, had turned around and said that they were not witnesses. And then all of a sudden they are witnesses. Had he made the statement that they were not witnesses in the bid to protect them? Let me know down below what you think. But I do feel that this was indeed targeted. And that's why this will need a motive. It will need a connection between Brian Kohberger and the victims. There has to be one, because this was not random. This was not a random chain of events. This wasn't just someone who had decided to attack a home. There was something specific between the person who did this and the victims. And I would put money on it. Let me know down below what you think, and I shall catch you all tomorrow.